I don't think it was quite as controversial as people are making out.
Yeah. People got to quit saying boxing matches are robberies just because the guy they rooting for didn't win.
Now, all this hate I'm seeing every day from Devin Haney, do you feel that might be fueled from these silly things he said? So you were there for the fight against Devin Haney against Lomachenko. I'm gonna put my bit out there first and say that I don't think it was quite as controversial as people are making out in the press. And I'm always the first person to tell the truth. But I think that the beginning of the fight, Devin Haney did really well for maybe 4 rounds, but then he did land some really telling body shots, which I think the judges saw and I definitely saw, and they do count. They do absolutely count. So do you feel the right person won between Lomachenko and Devin Haney?
To be honest, watching it live, being there, it was just a great chess match from round 1 to 12. Both guys had their moments. Like, it'd be rounds, Devin to come out controlling, then Loma fighting the spurt, and people would think he stole the round, but then it'd be some rounds where Loma just had a great round, then Dev would come back. Like, it was just a back and forth battle. I want to watch it on TV and just without the excitement of the crowd and the fans screaming and each other, whatever, who they represent name. I just want to watch the fight again and really give a detailed answer on that, because in the moment, I say they could have went either way. I wouldn't have been mad at a draw. I wouldn't have been mad if Loma won.
Agreed.
I'm not mad that Devin won. So I just think it was a good fight. I don't think it was that controversial. Yeah. People got to quit saying boxing matches are robberies just because the guy they rooting for didn't win, or if it was a close fight that they didn't. That they person didn't win, And then it's a lot of bias when commentating fights that persuades fans while they're watching this to get you the guy to see it their way. So sometimes you have to watch a fight on mute or without the commentation and just really watch what you're looking at and give it a go from there and just score it round by round. And people forget that fights are scored round by round. It's not about the points or the most punches necessarily. But like you said, he'd come out, he'd have great early rounds. Those are rounds you can never take away. Once the round is scored, they're on the card. So So if Loma come off strong and start landing all type of power shots and hurting Devin, it's not a 10-8 round. It's just another point added. So you still got Devin points that he accumulated, and then Loma had some real good rounds in the middle. Boom, boom, boom. That might have been dominant. That's still 2 rounds to his 4 rounds. Like, no matter how you look at it. So people don't understand really the scoring of boxing, I think, and that comes in part of the controversial thing when people say get robbed, because they might see a guy get battered for 1 round and then jab away the next round and lose the round. So it's just one of those things. But I want to watch it and go tally by tally and put my own score card up and see what it come up with.
I like that.
I've been in the ring with both, you know what I mean? Like, so I did a whole camp with Lomachenko. Me and Devin been doing each other since we was younger. We boxed and sparred multiple times, so I had a very telling insight going to the fight. And it kind of played out how I thought it would. I knew it was going to be a competitive fight. I know Loma was going to come at his best. I knew it wasn't going to be the same Lomachenko that fought Jermaine Ortiz earlier that year. I knew he was going to come his absolute best, and people were counting him out and making him the super underdog, but they forgot Lomachenko is Lomachenko. Oh, sorry.
It's all right, mate. I was just hoping you had some trousers on. Right, I'm gonna chuck this out there as a risk, actually, but I want you to see this as I'm always on a neutral base. So, loads of hate has been going to Devin Haney for some. Loads of hate has been going to Devin Haney for some silly things that he's said in the past. Now, I said a similar kind of thing to Amir Khan very recently, where I said, if Amir Khan was white, would he have a much more love for the British fans than he did as in his career? And I honestly believe if he was, he would have had more fans and more followers. Now, Devin Haney said some silly things when he was saying, I'll never let a white boy beat me. Now, all this hate I'm seeing every day from Devin Haney, do you feel that might be fueled from these silly things he said?
Yeah, I didn't even know that was said, but I know some fighters do say stuff like that. I know Bernard Hopkins was quoted saying it before. And was it Anthony Durrell that said it? I don't know. Some fighters say things. I don't know what it be. It could be to build a fight. It could be what they personally believe. I don't know. You know what I mean? I believe we all created equal, and fighters are fighters. You know what I mean? Like the best man gonna win no matter the race, the color, the creed. If when you get in the fight, you get in the fight. So I don't know if that's where the hate coming from, or do they just not like him, or his character, or his personality, or how he boxes. And some people, I get the same thing. Oh, they're boring. They box, they jab, they move around, but that's what win fights. But I really don't know where it comes from. You know what I mean? But I just know him personally. He's a great guy. Great young man. Great family man. Does a lot.
He is a young man. He is a young man. So, you know, we've all done stupid stuff. I mean, when I was 23.
Yeah, and he's so, you know, they'll grow to love him if you know what I mean, he stays on top and keep doing what he's doing, you know what I mean? So
I do feel that's where it's fueled from, though. I do feel, you know, from the fans, seeing the fans every day, I feel that maybe some of that is fueled from some of the silly things that he said.